Let's do winners. We're okay. You start. Go start with whoever you got.
Pick a Celtic, but pick a Celtic not named Tatum is my first winner.
Fine, I'll go Jrue Holiday.
Okay, I'll go Brown then.
I think Jrue Holiday solidified his status as an NBA Hall of Famer with this win.
I wrote the exact same thing down. Clinch the Hall of Fame. Yeah, clinch the Hall of Fame with this win.
So you think he makes it?
Now, yeah. 2-time champion. You know, you can look at all his all defense selections. He's gonna there's a chance he wins another title, and it's being one of the key pieces to a title team. Absolutely.
So here's the thing: if I've done the research correctly, and I think I have, in terms of modern guys, and then when I say modern, I mean like post 19 like post ABA.
So you're doing the merger, yeah. So 77 on.
Okay. Guys that have 2 or fewer All-Star appearances, because I think Jrue Holiday's and part of his what made his year so great is he was clearly the one who sacrificed his own numbers for the betterment of the team. Because his scoring average dipped, I'm pretty sure, more than any of those guys' scoring average dipped.
I wonder if you're going to say the same guy that you have a list.
No, it's very simple. How many guys have made the Hall of Fame post merger, where they have 2 or fewer All-Star appearances on their resume?
So first of all, give
me the number. How many do you think it's been?
I know it's at least 1. I'll say it's 5.
It's 3. Who's the 3? One you know?
Rodman.
Rodman is 1. So Rodman is, I think. So you mentioned the all defense stuff with Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday, 6-time all defense. Rodman, 8-time all defense, including a 2-time defensive player of the year. Not to mention, I know it's counting stats, whatever. 7-time rebounding champ, and arguably the greatest rebounder the league has seen in the last 40 years. So I think I put Rodman in a different category, to say nothing of the fact that he won 5 championships. Jrue Holiday has 2. It's 3 total players. Do you have any idea who the other 2 might be? One of them's kind of obvious, and one of them is not obvious at all.
Tony Kukoc.
I don't believe Tony Kukoc is in the Hall of Fame.
Tony Kukoc, I thought, made it 2 years ago. Now that's like international accomplishments too. So
he did make it, and he didn't show up on my list because he made 0. So
it's specifically 2 or 2?
No, specifically man at least 1.
At
if
least
you made
okay.
If you made 0 All-Star teams, you're getting in because of your your international accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the guys on this list is clearly in for his international accomplishments as well, and that's Vlade Divac. Vlade Divac made 1 All-Star game, and he's in the Hall of Fame. There's another guy who also has international accomplishments. I think he would have made the Hall of Fame. It would have been a tougher case, but he would have made it even if it had not been for his international exploits. I would argue. Others may differ.
Is this an injury? See his career is cut short because of injury. Oh no, you said at least 2. Yao Ming made way more than 2.
He played a long time in the NBA. This guy.
Oh, then I don't know who.
Manu Ginobili.
Manu only made 2 All-Star games.
2 All-Star games, and interestingly enough, 2 All-NBA teams. Usually, you'll see like 6 All-Star, 2 All-NBA, 2 All-Star, 2 All-NBA, and again. Big caveat there, because Manu Ginobili, 4-time champ, and
5-time champ. No, he didn't win 99. You're right. He didn't win 99.
4-time. He wasn't there. Tony Parker wasn't there in 99. 4-time NBA champ, part of a legitimate dynasty, and again, was the best player on an international team that beat the United States in what was maybe the biggest most notable international accomplishment, post Dream Team. If you want to go again post merger, guys with 3 All-Star games under their belt, it gets the list gets a little bit longer. I'm not counting George McGinnis because George McGinnis has the ABA. Charlie Scott is a 5-time All-Star, but again, he has some ABA stuff under his belt. So I don't like he finished 3rd place in ABA MVP voting. And then excuse me, Jamal Wilkes. So Jamal Wilkes, maybe this is the best comp. He's a 3-time All-Star, 2-time All-Defense. He was Rookie of the Year. He was All-Rookie, and he got MVP votes in a couple of years. Never won the championship, but like he was a really elite role player. Actually, what am I saying? Yeah, he did win the championship. He was on the Lakers.
Yeah.
Sorry. Why is this not true? Oh, 4-time NBA champ. Yeah, there you go. But again, 4-time champ, Jrue Holiday only 2-time champ. So I'm kind of making the case against Jrue Holiday.
You're trying to. I think he still solidified it. Now he may solidify even more so over the next.
I think it's going to be tough.
So the argument, I guess we started making at the beginning of this was like he gets hit by a bus tomorrow, and doesn't die, but his career ends. Does he make the Hall of Fame? And I would say yes. I would think a guy that's an integral part of 2 title teams, albeit like their 3rd or 4th best player. I think you add in the all defense accomplishments, you add in even if it is 2 All-Star teams. Again, this is the basketball Hall of Fame.
I understand. I wonder, does he need to just get the counting stats up? Like he's at 15,736 career points right now. He scored 860 points in 69 games this year. It might have a tough time getting to 20,000. 20,000 gets, I think, who's the only, was it Chambers the only guy with 20,000 that's not in?
I think so.
Yeah. So I don't know, but let's put it this way. I think now he has a real chance. Maybe that's the way I should have said. He has a chance now.
Okay. What about Al Horford?
Horford, man, it's funny. I think he gets in. But Horford's another one. I was talking about this with a colleague the other day. So Horford has, I think it's 4 All-Stars, 5 All-Stars, which is like right there in that it could legitimately go either way. Only 1 All-NBA, 1 All-Defense. Not as important of a role on this championship team as Jrue Holiday played. Who do you think has a better case?
Oh, Jrue Holiday.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny. I think Horford actually has a better case because I just think it's going to sound ridiculous, but 5 is more than 2. I think the 5 All-Stars go a long way.
I think 2 is more than 1.
2 championships more than 1.
Yeah. I think, look, Trae Young's going to make more All-Star games than Jrue Holiday. And I think Jrue Holiday has a significantly better chance to make the Hall of Fame than Trae Young will.
You know,
what his playoff accomplishments earn him are the not sympathies of voters, but the respect of voters when it comes to deciding who belongs to be immortalized.
Man, Jrue Holiday, All-NBA voting, finished 19th, obviously top 15 get in, finished 19th last year, 22-23. The year before that, 21st. He was pretty close a couple times. Has gotten all defense votes 11 times. Maybe that's the most impressive part of his candidacy. I don't know.
The case I went to was Rodman. I looked up his numbers. Like Rodman was never the best player. He was like a 6th man of the year initially with the Pistons, and then Jrue Holiday. I forget what pod I recently heard it on, but someone was talking about what he was in New Orleans, and it's like, damn, I hate. Oh, it was Jalen Brunson that was talking about anytime he'd play New Orleans, and it's like, how is this guy never won Defensive Player of the Year? He is the best defensive player in the league, and that's just from someone that has to go against him as an offensive player. And there's just there isn't a stat to quantify this unless we're going to start putting guys in the Hall of Fame because of defensive EPM. But
hold on,
being the main, real quick, let me get it out. Being the main guy that has to guard the other team's best option, especially in the best perimeter offensive era that we've ever seen in the league, I think is important, and I think will add to his story and his legacy.
I think, well, what won't add to his story and his legacy is his first finals numbers. His shooting was awful in the finals with Milwaukee. He made up for that this time. Shot 42% from 3 in these finals, 53.6% overall. Did average 28 points a game when New Orleans swept Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one series, but like that's kind of cool.
He and Anthony Davis were killer in that series. Yeah.
I was stopping you before because it hit me like a light bulb went off. You know who the comp is?
Who?
This guy the Knicks just hired. It's Mo Cheeks. Mo Cheeks, one-time NBA champion on one of the great teams of all time, 1983 Philadelphia 76ers. 5-time All-Defense. Jrue Holiday was 6. 4-time All-Star when the league didn't quite have as many teams. So you want no all NBA, but like a defense first guard, kind of like not as good in numbers as Jrue Holiday throughout his career, like topped out averaging 15 points a game a couple times. I think Mo Cheeks is actually the best comp, and he's in the Hall of Fame.
I like it.
Yeah.
Defense, like you can point to how bad his offensive splits were in any year, and I'm just gonna be like, defense is why I'm nominating him for the Hall of Fame. You don't point to a cornerback's sack numbers for why they're not a great cornerback. It's specifically what their specialty is.
It's defense, but it's like, I think there's something to the fact that 30 teams would crawl all over themselves to have Jrue Holiday on their roster.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been the case really for the entirety of his career. And like, he's like such a good guy. You know what? Just a silly conversation. They're both going to get in. Horford's going to get in. Jrue Holiday.
Well, that's the less fun podcast, John. Did you play basketball? Yes, you're a Hall of Famer.
That's mean. Okay.
Jaylen Brown's the other Celtic that easily is. It was the two big winners, I thought, from this finals. Is Jaylen Brown. Listen, you just made the case that the Suns have to be the biggest loser because of what we were saying about them beginning of the season, right?
Yeah.
One of the teams, the top 4 win over under totals, right? And without telling anyone how the season would go and how much better Minnesota got and what version of Minnesota would sweep them, if you just told them they'd get swept by Minnesota, that's a disappointing season. So if I told you when he signed the biggest contract in NBA history at the beginning of the year, and everybody just pointed to like, oh my gosh, Jaylen Brown, the guy that couldn't dribble in the playoffs, that he, at the end of the year, will be the conference finals and the finals MVP for the Celtics' 18th title.
That's
after they won
crazy.
80 games and only lost 21.
No,
he's the biggest winner. The narrative is completely flipped on him now.
You're absolutely right.